on the mountain, in the valley, in the crowded streets, on the empty desert, in our hope and in our waiting, we are never alone. God is with us.
Welcome to today's Matthew reading. Today we'll be engaging chapter 19, and one of the special verses I want to delve into is verse 13 and forward. This is when Jesus blesses little children, and it reads, "Then little children were brought to him, that he might put his hands on them and pray. But the disciples rebuked them. But Jesus said, 'Let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for such is the kingdom of heaven.' And he laid his hands on them and departed from them." So this is such a precious story in the Bible that has been recounted since I was a little boy. This paints a beautiful picture of God's character and His love for His children. As a parent now that I have a 5-month-old daughter, my desire is for her to be with Jesus as close as she can, right? So you can see the desire these parents had for their children at this time, right? They wanted an important influence to be embedded into these children's life, right? And who, as a parent, doesn't want that, right? And we see this in previous generations, even before Jesus, right? Parents would bring their children to rabbis and have them pray for them, pray for their future. They would put their hands on these children. We see an example with Joseph, right? Bringing their 2 sons to Jacob. Jacob places their hands on them and blesses them. So we see a correlation, right, as parents on wanting to give to our children the love they deserve, that encouragement and that nurture on their spiritual well-being. However, as these parents were approaching Jesus, we see the disciples rebuke them, right? The parents saw this as an invitation, while the disciples saw this as an interruption. So what does Jesus tell the disciples? Jesus rebukes them, right? And he says, "Let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for such is the kingdom of heaven." Lastly, one thing that I found about Jesus is that he doesn't tell the kids to be like adults, right? He tells us to be like children. "Let the children come to me, and do not forbid them, for such is the kingdom of heaven." Children have that innocence, right? That true faith and identity of what we should be doing in any of our approaches in life, right? And I want this story to really make an imprint in our heart, And children have a lot to show us on how to behave as Christians. So let us become like children, and let's have a word of prayer.